Don, first of all, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, especially because you are the majority culture. And you don't have to reach out, but you have. For that, I'm deeply appreciative. You just don't have to do this. You don't have to put the rabbi and myself not together, not knowing each one's personalities and so on and so forth. You just didn't have to. And your church didn't have to. I deeply appreciate it, and I also appreciate the trust that you are showing me. So, having said that, the question again.
In your view, what can we do to help facilitate the vigorous coexistence of Israelis and Palestinians?
Difficult question, but I'll give it a shot. What has happened in the past has happened in the past. And each community will have their own versions of history. There is pain on both sides. And there can be a lot of discussions as to the root cause of that pain and so on and so forth. Going backwards helps us not a bit. The Palestinians are there. The Arab population of Israel, who I know are better respected, are there. The Egyptians are there. The Syrians are there. The Lebanese are there. And Israel is there. And Israel as a nation has done amazing things. It reads the most number of books in the world. I have Israeli colleagues at work. Not one have I seen not work hard. Not one have I seen being disrespectful, even knowing full well that I am a Muslim.
If you go astray, excellent.
That's good. I like permission to go astray.
Oh, yeah.
That's
and
nice.
Like I said, later on, I'll be splicing this together and we'll make you look good and sound good.
All right. I'm Rabbi Benjamin Barnet. I'm the Rabbi of Havara Shalom, which is a Reconstructionist community in Northwest Portland.
But the first question is, in your view, what can we do to help facilitate the vigorous coexistence of Israelis and Palestinians? Is it possible to be both pro-Israeli and pro-Palestinian?
Yeah, well, I think the first thing about supporting coexistence between Israelis and Palestinians is to support organizations who are doing this work. I mean, there are organizations that have been doing this work for years, and it's really courageous and really difficult. It is definitely against the grain, going against the grain, I think, of the societies in general. I'll speak, in particular to Israeli society. It's really a small number of people who are really dedicated to that work, but incredible visionaries and incredibly inspiring people who have been sitting together and grieving together and learning together for years. So, one very prominent organization right now, Standing Together, that's really, I think, emerged with much more support since October 7th. They've really been one of the leaders in the protest movement and the movement really challenging the war within Israeli society. So it's Jewish Israelis and Palestinian citizens of Israel. So I would really strongly encourage people to know about them and support their work. There's also the Bereaved Families Forum Parent Circle that for years, really many years, has been together connecting over their shared grief of both losing or all the people, both peoples, all the people who are involved who have lost direct loved ones to the conflict in one way or another. There's an organization actually that's going to be here in town. We're hosting with another community called Roots, which is an organization of Palestinians within, particularly in Area C, so Israeli-controlled area of the West Bank, a family that had land there that wasn't able to develop it because it's in Area C, opened that land to a gathering place. Palestinians and actually specifically Israeli settlers who live among that area. It's called Gush Etzion within the Israeli community, and they're doing really wonderful work. And hand in hand founded actually by a Havara member, Lee Gordon, a lifelong Portland resident, except for the time he lived in Israel, and helped to found and lead this organization, which is an educational organization of schools now. Over the years, developed many schools throughout the country of, again, Jewish Israelis and Palestinian citizens of Israel, learning together and growing together. So I would say any of those organizations, what's really become called shared society, I would say as much as possible to support those organizations financially and otherwise.
Someone had set up a meeting on a Friday, and I just let her have it. And she said, well, this time works for them. And I said, I don't give a damn. This is the only time in Friday when I go to the mosque. I was so embarrassed. And I said, I'm sorry. He just waved me off. They were the first ones at the next meeting to bring me data. So my respect is real. Looking back does not help. This is home for me. There is, as we have to coexist here, you have set an example of reaching out to me. You didn't have to. Our numbers are minuscule. Our depth and ability to impact and make changes is just nothing. And yet you have reached out. And this is not the first time. Right after 9/11, you guys reached out. So we just sit and talk, cry on each other's shoulders, hug each other. We can start here and take that hug back, because we have to live together. There's a verse in the Quran which says the following: Ya ayyuhan nas, O humanity, inna khalaqnakum min dhakari wa unsa. Verily I have created you from a single male and female, Adam and Eve. وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ شُعُوبًا وَقَبَائِلًا. And I have made you to different nations and tribes. It's almost intentionally. If God would have wanted, could He not have made us all exactly the same, look exactly the same, always smiling, all fair, all dark, all blue-eyed? He didn't. Why? لِتَعَارَفُوا. Why? So that you know one another. لِتَعَارَفُوا. Ta'arif is knowing one another not on the surface, but in depth. When you see me next time, you say, hey Shahriar, you told me you had a quadruple bypass. How are you doing? You said your son is gone back to school again. Did he find a job? Because that's what you know I worry about. لِتَعْرَفُوا. And if I see you, hopefully I get to know you a bit more, and then find out what, that's what we're here for, to know one another. That was His plan according to the Quran. It is not a mistake. We have to live together. We have to know one another.